Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our new chapter, which is the vector of physics 11th class. In this chapter, in this video, we are going to study a few points, that is, what are scalar and vector quantities, how do we represent vectors, what are the types of vector, and what is the importance of vectors. Let us discuss all these points one by one. First of all, any physical quantity is classified as scalar and vector quantity. Now, what is this scalar quantity? Scalar quantities are those quantities which are having magnitude only and no direction. For example, if we talk about the distance, length, area, volume. When we are dealing with such physical quantities, we never mention the distance. We never mention the direction. For example, if I said that a person start moving from his house and he has to reach to his school, right? In that case, he may follow any path. He may follow the semicircular path. He may follow the zigzag path. He may follow a straight line path. Whatever path is followed, the direction is not mentioned. We just calculate the total path length traveled, whether it is semicircular, whether it is zigzag, whether it is straight line. So in this case, specified direction is not mentioned. So such an example of scalar quantities. Similarly, when we are calculating the area or we are calculating the volume, in such cases we are not mentioning the directions of such areas and such volumes. So such quantities which are having only magnitude and no direction, these are known as scalar quantity. Now coming to the vector quantities. Vector quantities are those quantities which are having magnitude as well as direction. Most specific example if I give is displacement. Why I have given here displacement? Just to compare it with the distance. Here, as I said, that when we are measuring the distance, whatever the path is followed, direction is not mentioned. But when we are talking about the displacement, what is displacement? This is the shortest distance which is from initial to final position, right? So in that case, naturally, if a person starts from this, final destination is this point and the direction is mentioned as IF, right? I to F. So since direction is mentioned as well as the magnitude, whatever the distance, this measurements we took here is its magnitude. So direction as well as magnitude both are measured. So such quantities are known as vector quantities. Another example if I gave here is force. When we are talking about force, I said that we are applying on a force on a body. Like this is a ball and I am applying force in this direction, so as that this ball will move in the same direction. If I apply the force at some angle, the direction of ball will be in this direction. So specifically when we are talking about force, again the direction is specified as well as magnitude is also specified. For example, if I said that suppose 1 Newton of force is applied along x-axis, the ball will move along x-axis and have some momentum. So right here 1 Newton is its magnitude and direction is along x-axis. So all those physical quantities which specify magnitude as well as direction are known as vector quantities. Now the second point is representation of vectors. How do we represent a vector? A vector is always represented by an arrowhead over that physical quantity, where this point is known as tail and this point is known as head, right? Tail point defines the initial or starting point and header point indicates the end point. So if I represent force, so it will be represented by this arrowhead, right? And if I write the displacement AB, so A denotes here its starting point and B denotes here its ending point. So this is how we represent a vector quantity. Sometimes vector can be represented by a bold letter also. For example, this F is written in bold letter. That is also representation of the vector either, but most conveniently what we use here is arrow. Arrow is the most convenient method to represent a vector quantity. Now let us discuss about the third point, which is the types of vectors. Types of vectors. Vectors are basically of two types, that are polar vectors or axial vectors. Axial vectors. Now what are these? Polar vectors are the vectors which have a starting point. For example, if I talk about again displacement, the most common example is displacement. The body starts from A and reaches at B, so it is having its starting point. Force F is applied on a body which is at position A, so it is again having a starting point. So such vectors which are having starting point are known as the polar vectors. And axial vectors are those vectors which are representing the rotational effect. For example, angular displacement or angular velocity, angular acceleration, torque. All these phenomena we will study in detail in your unit 5. Basically these are those which represent a rotational effect on a body. Whenever a body is moving in a circular path, for example, I will give a short description about it. Let us consider a body is moving in a circular path. Then at that every instant of time its angle is changing, right? So such kind of motion we can say this is the angular displacement. Now at what time the displacement takes place is known as angular velocity. So whenever the body is moving along a circular path, in that case that rotation, whenever the body is showing the rotational effect, in that case the vector associated with it is known as the axial vector.